Ah, the dance of the universe. A dance that often seems to challenge us with its backward steps. It's curious, isn't it? The more you try, the more you hold on, the less it seems to work. It's like holding sand in your hands, the tighter you squeeze, the more it escapes. This is the essence of quantum manifestation, where excessive effort becomes a barrier. To receive, we must let go. To move forward, we must still. Imagine a calm, serene, and crystal clear pond. When you throw a stone forcefully, the water churns, ripples spread, and clarity is lost. Similarly, when you apply pressure to manifest a desire, your energy becomes turbulent. The universe is like this pond. It responds to your frequency, not your strength. Only when you are at peace can it reflect back the true image of your desire. Think of yourself as a radio adjusting its frequencies. When you're tuned to the right channel, the music flows seamlessly. But when you frantically turn the dial, all you hear is static. The secret is to tune in, not to endlessly turn the dial. Likewise, the universe demands that we adjust, that we tune our vibration to the one that matches what we desire. It's not about doing more, it's about being more. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that effort is the only path to achievement. That's what we've been taught, isn't it? But what if I told you that this belief is an illusion, a veil that hides the simplicity of the manifestation process? To overcome this limiting belief, begin to realize that true action isn't external action, but internal transformation. Pause with me for a moment. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what if, instead of trying with all your might, you chose to trust? What if surrendering was the most powerful step you could take? The universe is a mirror that reflects our innermost truth. By releasing the need to control, you create space for the invisible order of chaos to reveal itself in your life. As we reflect on this perspective, consider a simple practice. For today, choose a desire you've been holding tightly. As you breathe, visualize it, and gently let it go. Feel the freedom and lightness that accompany this act of letting go. This is the first step to decoding the language of the universe, immersing yourself in the acceptance that guides manifestation. And so, in acceptance, we begin to perceive the reverse nature of the universe, where uncertainty, instead of being a setback, becomes the force that accelerates the fulfillment of our deepest desires. Let's breathe together for a moment. Feel the energy around you. Have you ever wondered why sometimes the harder you try, the less it seems to work? It's an intriguing paradox that defies our logic. Yet, this is precisely where the essence of quantum manifestation lies. The universe, in its cosmic dance, operates in reverse, a truth that is as simple as it is surprising. Imagine the universe as a vast tapestry woven backward. The visible surface may appear chaotic, but upon closer inspection, we realize that order lies in the hidden weave, in the threads intertwined beneath. This is the secret. The universe manifests in directions opposite to our conscious expectations. When we desire something intensely, we project that energy outward, but the universe responds not to the strength of desire, but to the frequency of your inner truth. It hears not the cry of lack, but rather the whisper of presence. Visualize yourself in front of a mirror. The reflection you see doesn't advance toward you, but moves away as you approach. The more you try to capture it, the more it hides. But by stepping back, by allowing it, it naturally approaches you. This mirror is the universe. It responds not to effort, but to your essence. To move forward, be still. To receive, let go. It's a dance of permission and acceptance. A common mistake is to believe that we need to make manifestation happen. The limiting belief that effort and struggle will bring us closer to our dreams is an illusion. In truth, it is resistance to the simplicity of paradox that blocks us. When we cling to the need for control, we lose sight of the power of surrender. To see the reality we desire, we must first accept it as already existing within us. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would happen if I simply allowed the universe to surprise me? That's the key. Instead of forcing your will, tune into the frequency of what already is within you. A simple practice is to start your day with the intention of accepting whatever comes, without resistance. Feel the difference it makes. And so, as we delve deeper into the reverse nature of the universe, remember that the setback we feel is actually a catalyst for acceleration. By truly understanding this paradox, we begin to see the invisible order in the apparent chaos. Get ready, because in the next step, we'll explore how this uncertainty, which we often fear, actually accelerates our manifestation journey. Manifestation, a universe of contradictions and an ocean of possibilities. It's intriguing how, when trying to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, we often stumble upon the complex simplicity of its language. The inverse nature of the universe, which seems to operate backward, invites us to a deeper understanding of how reality shapes itself around us. And it is here, at the intersection of the visible and the invisible, that we find the quantum mechanism, the invisible order of chaos. Imagine a turbulent river, its waters crashing against the rocks, creating a dance of foam and current. To the inattentive observer, chaos reigns. But if we look closely, if we quiet our minds and allow ourselves to feel the movement, we will perceive a pattern. The waters flow in harmony, each drop knowing exactly where to go, effortlessly, without resistance. The universe behaves similarly. What may appear to be disorder is, in fact, an intricate web of synchronicities. In the quantum field, everything is connected. It's like a symphony where each note, each pause, creates the perfect melody. Subatomic particles, these tiny puppets of the universe, don't move randomly, but follow an invisible choreography, an order that escapes our eyes but which we feel in our essence. When we understand that chaos is merely our limited perception of a greater order, we begin to realize that manifestation is not a process of creation, but of revelation. To make this more tangible, think of the universe as a large mirror. Not an ordinary mirror, but a mirror that reflects in reverse. When you smile at it, it smiles back, but not in the way you expect. It reflects not what you do, but what you are. Therefore, when you align with the invisible order, when you stop fighting the current and start flowing with it, the mirror reflects the reality you desire, not through effort, but through being. A common mistake many of us make is believing we need to fully understand chaos to control it. We think we need to draw every line, control every movement. But the truth is, control is an illusion. The paradox here is that to find order, we must first embrace chaos. We must trust that, even without seeing the whole picture, the universe is working in our favor. This trust, this surrender, is what opens the doors to manifestation. So today, I invite you to pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, where am I trying to force order in my life when I should be allowing the natural flow? Feel this question in your body, let it resonate within you. And as we move forward, remember that uncertainty is not an obstacle, but an ally. It is what accelerates the path to what we desire, but this is a revelation for the next moment of our journey together. The dance of the universe, so often perceived as complex, but actually simple. On our path of manifestation, we understand that the universe operates in a way that may initially seem like an enigma, but is actually a perfect reflection of our inner vibrations. Have you ever wondered why it seems like the more you desire something, the further it gets away? This is the reverse nature of the universe in manifestation. It's like a mirror that reflects to us not what we ask for, but what we truly are. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in front of a mirror. What you see isn't a reflection of what you want to be, but of who you are in this very moment. If you're smiling, the mirror smiles back. If you're frowning, the reflected image frowns too. This is the universe, a cosmic mirror that reflects in reverse. It doesn't hear your words, it senses your frequency. It responds not to your "I want," but to your "I am." Consider an old radio. You can't hear the music you want until you tune the dial to the correct frequency. Similarly, when you try to manifest from a state of lack or despair, the universe reflects back that same frequency of lack. But when you align with joy, peace, and gratitude for what you already feel to be true, the universe reconfigures its reflection. It responds to the melody of your soul, not the noise of your desire. We often fool ourselves into thinking we need to try harder, to want more intensely, but this is a common mistake. The limiting belief that we have to struggle to manifest our desires is an illusion. True power lies in acceptance and relaxation. When you let go and allow the universe to mirror your authentic frequency, then magic happens. Allow yourself to feel this deeply now. Pause with me for a moment. Take a deep breath and notice your own energy reflected back. And then ask yourself, what am I really projecting into the mirror of the universe? This simple question can bring great clarity. Do a daily micro-practice of simply being, of aligning your inner state with what you wish to see manifested. The key is to be, not to do. As you become the reflection of what you desire, the universe quickly adjusts. As we move forward, we'll explore the role of uncertainty, a setback that paradoxically accelerates our manifestations. Let this reflection on the mirror of the universe prepare your heart to receive the surprises that uncertainty brings. The journey continues, and by embracing paradox, you will discover deeper layers of your own capacity for transformation. Uncertainty, so uncomfortable, so easily avoided. And yet, it is precisely in uncertainty that the universe dances its fastest melody. When we speak of the universe's inverse nature and manifestation, we remember that speed lies not in strength or control, but in surrender and trust. It is a paradox that defies logic, but one that the soul naturally understands. Imagine, for a moment, that you're sailing down a river. You strain, rowing against the current, but it seems the more force you apply, the less progress you make toward your destination. Now, visualize letting go of the oars, allowing the river to carry you. Effortlessly, without resistance, the river, with its innate wisdom, takes you exactly where you need to be, and with surprising speed. Uncertainty is this letting go of the oars. It's the confidence that, despite not seeing the full path, the river knows your destination. Visualize uncertainty as a delicate dance with an invisible partner. In this cosmic ballroom, uncertainty is your dance partner, guiding your steps with a light but firm touch. When you try to lead, you step on its toes and stumble. When you surrender to its leadership, your movements flow with grace and ease. Uncertainty is not an enemy to be defeated, but an ally to be embraced. By embracing this partnership, we discover that uncertainty accelerates manifestation because we are no longer fighting against the current, but rather floating with it. The common mistake is often to believe that uncertainty is synonymous with failure, that not having all the answers is a sign of weakness. But think with me, what would life be without mystery? Without the unknown, there would be no room for surprise, for the magic of the unexpected. True freedom is found when we allow ourselves to exist between certainty and the unknown, in this space of infinite possibility. A shift in perspective begins by accepting that uncertainty is actually the cradle of all new creations. Instead of fearing it, we can begin to see it as the fertile soil where our dreams can grow. When you feel paralyzed by the unknown, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what's possible here that I haven't yet considered? Feel this in your body. Let this question open doors that the rational mind can't even imagine. And so we move on to the next part of our journey, where we'll explore how common blocks arise from resistance to this paradox. Embrace uncertainty as the initial step in the dance of manifestation, and prepare to discover how resistance can be transformed into fluid, continuous movement. Have you ever felt that the more you try to control the flow of life, the more it slips through your fingers? This is the essence of the universe's inverse nature and manifestation. Paradox is one of the foundations of the cosmos, and it is often this resistance to paradox that blocks us. When we demand clarity, the universe responds with fog. When we seek control, it offers chaos. It's the invisible dance between what we desire and what we need to let go. Imagine a river. You're standing on the bank, burning with the desire to sail to your dream destination. But instead of getting into the boat, you try to control the flow of the water with your hands. It's a futile effort, isn't it? The river has its natural course, and the more you try to stop it, the more it shows its strength. Similarly, manifestation works contrary to what our logical mind often expects. To move forward, you must let go. To receive, you must release. This is where many of us stumble. We live in a culture that teaches us to dominate, to strive, to control. We believe that to achieve something, we must strive relentlessly. But what is the common error that emerges from this way of thinking? It's the belief that we need to understand and control every detail of our journey before we can take the next step. This resistance to paradox creates a blockage, a barrier between us and the natural flow of manifestation. To overcome this resistance, we must shift our perspective. Instead of seeing paradox as an obstacle, we can see it as a dance partner guiding us into the unknown. It's about trusting the flow of the river, about allowing the currents to take us where we need to be, even if the destination isn't immediately visible. The guiding question is, what am I holding so tightly that I need to let go and allow the flow to guide me? Pause with me for a moment and feel this in your body. Breathe deeply. Feel the lightness that comes from releasing your need for control, from accepting that not knowing is also a form of wisdom. Accepting paradox is an invitation to internal transformation, a path to faster manifestation, aligned with the true essence of the universe. And so, by releasing our resistance, we open space to decode the language of the universe, an inverse enigma that speaks through the whispers of uncertainty. How can we stop fighting paradox and start dancing with it? This is the adventure that awaits us, where each step, each movement, brings us closer to harmony with the cosmos. When we look at the universe through the lens of manifestation, we realize that it operates in a manner that is opposite to what we expect. Remember the thesis we explored? The universe doesn't follow our linear logic, it dances in reverse, like a river flowing backward. And in this flow lies the key to decoding its language, an enigma that speaks through paradoxes. Imagine you're trying to tune a radio station. You turn the dial, searching for the perfect sound, but the more effort and anxiety you put into the search, the more static you find. Such is the universe. It responds not to force, but to gentleness, not to effort, but to receptivity. The universe whispers in frequencies that ask to be felt, not heard. To understand this inverse language, think of a mirror. The mirror doesn't judge, doesn't make an effort, it simply reflects. When you smile at it, it doesn't smile after you, it smiles immediately. Likewise, the universe reflects your essence, not your attempts to manipulate the reflection. If you approach it with anxiety and despair, it reflects back the same energy. But if you approach it with calm and confidence, it responds with an echo of serenity. However, many of us fall into the trap of believing we need to control this reflection. We think that by fighting and persisting, we can bend the mirror to our will. But the universe doesn't respond to rigidity. It dances with the softness of uncertainty. When we let go of the need to know exactly how and when our desires will manifest, we open space for them to flow naturally. The limiting belief that we need absolute control blinds us to the very nature of the universe, which is fluid and expansive. To overcome this resistance, ask yourself, what would happen if I let go of control and trust the process? Feel the lightness of this question in your body. Imagine the freedom that comes from letting go of the rope you've been pulling so tightly. And in that letting go, discover the peace that comes from allowing the universe to reflect back to you a symphony of possibilities. By decoding the language of the universe, we learn that true power lies in acceptance and presence. It's not about imposing our will, but about dancing with what is. And by embracing this dance, we prepare ourselves to dive deeper into uncertainty, where the magic of manifestation truly happens. Ah, the enchanting dance of the universe, always surprising us, always challenging us to see beyond appearances. We've already explored how the universe operates in reverse, where apparent disorder is actually a hidden order. And now, we enter one of the most transformative stages of this journey, inner acceptance as a guide to manifestation. It may seem contradictory that, to change our reality, we must first accept what is. Yet, it is precisely this acceptance that releases resistance and opens the doors to the natural flow of creation. Imagine your life is like a river. Often, the desire for change leads us to row against the current, fighting intensely but remaining in the same place. Acceptance invites us to let go of the oars. Feel this for a moment. By stopping fighting the current, you begin to flow with it, allowing the river to carry you to new horizons, gently and effortlessly. Acceptance is not resignation. It is acknowledging reality as it is now, without judgment, without resistance. And in this recognition, we create space for the new to manifest. Visualize a mirror, the mirror of the universe, reflecting not only what we desire, but what we truly are. When we look in the mirror and accept our reflection, with all its imperfections and brilliance, something magical happens. The mirror begins to reflect not only what is, but what can be. Acceptance is the polish that clarifies our reflection, aligning our frequency with our deepest desires. We often encounter the limiting belief that acceptance means giving up. That by accepting, we are somehow settling for less than we deserve. But what if acceptance were actually an acknowledgement of the power we already possess? Allow yourself to consider this. Acceptance transforms resistance into serenity, and serenity is the fertile soil where the seeds of manifestation grow. I invite you to a brief reflection. What in your life have you resisted accepting? Pause with me for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel this resistance dissolve like ice in the sun. And as you do, notice the lightness that emerges, the freedom to simply be. As we move forward, remember, the paradox of acceptance is that by embracing what is, you become the creator of what can be. And so, we move on to the practical, daily application of this profound knowledge, where we will learn to reverse our intentions to accelerate results in surprising and harmonious ways. Imagine a universe dancing in inversion, where haste doesn't accelerate, but slows. On the journey of manifestation, we often encounter a fervent desire to control, to sculpt reality with the hands of impatience. However, the more we try to force, the further away we become from what we desire. The universe, on this quantum stage, manifests in reverse, asking us to invert our intention so we can accelerate results. To apply this reverse dance to our daily lives, we must first understand that it's not about doing more, but about being more. Consider intention as a seed. If you plant a seed eager to see it grow, and constantly dig it up to measure its progress, what will happen? The seed doesn't thrive under the weight of constant observation, it flourishes in surrender, in the trust that, beneath the surface, life is unfolding perfectly. Think of the universe as a quantum mirror. When you look in the mirror, you see the reflection not of your physical actions, but of your state of being. So, for the universe's reflection to change, you must change what's inside you. See yourself as a radio, tuning into the frequency of already having, already being, already being. Reversing intention is exactly that. It's not about incessantly asking, but about feeling that you've already received. We often fall into the trap of believing that by focusing our desires on constant affirmations and endless spiritual to-do lists, we are manifesting effectively. This approach, while well-intentioned, is often guided by a limiting belief that no effort, no gain. The paradox, however, invites us to let go of that effort. By replacing the need for control with trust, we allow the universe to surprise us. So, pause with me for a moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, how could I feel the presence of what I desire now, as if it were already mine? This simple question is not an exercise in imagination, but a practice of vibration. When you embody the feeling of already possessing what you desire, you realign your frequency with the reality you wish to create. For those seeking a practical step, start each morning not with a wish list or intentions, but with a moment of silent gratitude, as if everything you long for is already here. Feel the relief and contentment of this in your body. This is your state of being from which the universe mirrors who you truly are. As you experience this reversal of intention, you'll notice that the universe responds quickly, often in unexpected ways. And it's in this space of uncertainty that magic truly happens. Uncertainty isn't an obstacle, but an ally. Thus, we allow the flow to take us to places beyond our expectations. This inversion practice is a bridge to a deeper understanding of the role of uncertainty in manifestation, where setbacks, rather than slowing us down, propel us forward. Continue this reflection and stay open to what the universe will mirror back, always in perfect synchronization with the melody you're already playing internally. Let us gently reconnect with the essence of everything we've explored. We've spoken of the reverse nature of the universe in manifestation, that cosmic dance where what appears to be chaos is actually an invisible order. Now, as we near the end of this journey, a powerful invitation arises: embrace paradox and thus transform your life. For many, the idea of embracing paradox may seem disconcerting. After all, how can we accept something that seems to go against our logic and understanding? Think of a river. It flows in its natural direction, but to navigate in harmony with it, we don't row against the current. Instead, we let go of the oars and let ourselves be carried along. The same is true of the universe. Releasing control isn't giving up, but rather aligning with the natural flow of manifestation. Imagine your life as a dance with an invisible partner. You can try to lead this dance, controlling every step, every movement, but this often results in foot stomping and awkward movements. The secret is to become one with the music, to feel the rhythm and let the universe, your partner, guide the choreography. It's when you let go of uncertainty that the beauty of the dance reveals itself. A common mistake many face is the belief that they need to have all the answers before they can manifest their desires. The "I don't know" mindset is a weakness. In fact, uncertainty is an essential component of manifestation. When you accept that you don't know, you open the door for the universe to show you the way. It's uncertainty that allows new possibilities to blossom. So, here's a powerful question for you to ponder: where in my life am I gripping the oar too tightly? Allow yourself to let go, even for a moment. One micro practice you can adopt is to simply close your eyes, breathe deeply, and say to yourself, "I trust the flow of the universe." This small act of trust is the seed of transformation. And so, as you begin to feel the dance of the universe in your life, remember that true change comes from acceptance. Embrace paradox, and you will discover that by embracing it, life becomes a magical journey full of possibilities. As we move into the next part of our exploration, maintain this sense of trust and openness as we continue to decode the language of the universe, a reverse riddle that invites us to see the world in a whole new way.